de Ridder is free. He's free to go out and do interviews he's on a probation period. I'm putting him on probation. He's allowed to go out and conduct interviews. He's a handsome guy. He's on a roll. He's taken a victory lap, but he's on probation. Now, you guys will remember when we had to do this to Aspinall, right? There's some British kid that Bisping's into, and his name's Tom, and he fights at heavyweight. You remember those days when I'm over here right behind Bisping going, hey, this is the guy. No more interviews with him. You want to talk Aspinall? You call me. I'm speaking for Aspinall from this point forward. Then I actually did one. Oscar Willis called me. We did an interview as Aspinall. It was funny. It was great stuff, but it was also very sincere because I felt that Tom at that time did not understand how good he was. Tom did not understand who to call out, how to position himself, and how to get to where he is today at that time because he just didn't know how good he was. I want to say he was ranked, when I did that, I want to say he was ranked number 9. He might have been closer to 6, but it was off. We could see, man, that's the champion or that's the next best thing. Get that guy in a main event for 5 for a belt, right? Bisping led this. I won't take Bisping's thunder, but I started speaking on Tom's behalf, and I'm only sharing that we're getting real close to doing that with de Ridder. De Ridder has so much going for him. And he is on a momentum. All right, guys, I'll make a statement for you. You tell me if you disagree. I believe that the biggest run that we have right now, wow, that is really impressive. Gosh, I can't believe you did that, is Ilia Topuria. I do believe going through Volk, going through Max, going through Charles, that it's Ilia. I believe number 2 is DDR. I believe that. I believe, you got to understand, nobody has ever beaten Robert Whittaker who didn't fight for a world title or become a world champion. Right, and nobody's ever beat him that wasn't a world champion. I have to word it or fight for a world title, only because Chimaev's still 2 weeks away. Nobody gets over on Whittaker, and nobody had even touched Bo Nickel. Those are 2 massive victories, and that's not all. He got nearly no credit for the Kevin Holland fight. And if I tell you he beat Kevin Holland, you're not going to go, oh, wow, you love Kevin, but it's not going to be the same thing. Guys, if you saw the fight, it was a minute and some seconds, and it was playing Kevin's game. He went to the ground, the only thing Kevin Holland wants to do. Kevin Holland was dying to get to the ground with Jacare, for goodness sakes. So if you actually watch the match, I'm telling you, this run's incredible. Now, why do you get put on probation? Okay, because he wants to fight for a title, which he qualifies for right now. It's much like Aspinall several years ago. He already qualifies for the world title. Now, is he going to get the nod? We can have a different conversation. He is in the conversation. As a matter of fact, he's leading the conversation for anybody not named Kyle Brow. Now, before Imanov sees this and gets pissed off, I understand 185 is a wildly tricky division right now. And he called out, and I'm talking DDR here, he calls out Israel Adesanya, but he got more specific. It was a great call out, but it was the wrong guy. He calls for Izzy, and then he goes a step further, which most fighters don't have the wherewithal to do. He called for a date. I will meet you in November in New York. Israel Adesanya. I mean, we got the who. There's only 5 W's to a story. Who, what, when, why, and where. Now, he covered 3 of them, but he did include the why for a number 1 contenders fight. And the only reason that's a problem is beating Adesanya doesn't make you a number 1 contender, but we have to agree to that. if you're DDR, you need to agree to that, because if you don't agree to that, then you just made Imanov the #1 contender. So I'm into the fight. I'm very curious what Izzy will say. The stakes are not what DDR lined out. That doesn't mean we can't do the fight. But oftentimes it will disqualify you. When you're covering in a proper call out, when you cover the who, what, when, why, and where, you can't have a critic come in and take one of them away from you. Like if you got a great day, you got the who, what, when, why, and where, and the location just doesn't work. Oh, that guy, yeah, he can't get licensed in New York. Okay, great. Somebody's not going to come in and go, well, you still got 4 of them, right? So let's just find a different city and we'll do it in New Jersey later in the month. Like, it doesn't work like that. If you get one of them wrong, then generally they'll just throw the whole entire idea out. And I don't want that to happen to DDR. DDR has got a hold of the right tool. He's just got it by the wrong end. Calling out Izzy, that's a tough night out, man. There's not 3 guys in the history of this sport that have called out Israel Adesanya. There's guys that have done it when their phone rang. No one wants to fight him. Like, full respect. But it also a representation that DDR is not understanding where he's at. He's coming off 2 of the biggest wins, only behind, in my mind, Ilia Topuria. And Izzy is not in that spot, and he is not ranked in that spot. And Izzy hasn't even really given us an indication that he's attempting to return to that. He's been a little bit coy. There was a call out of Strickland. In fact, it was reported that that was going to happen. Sean then faced a disciplinary action. Nothing got said on Izzy's standpoint, which would maybe lead you to believe that they're just going to take that fight, that's the one, and they're just going to do it at a different time. So I'm just sharing. DDR's in a better spot than he thinks. And it reminds me of Tom. And we have given Tom back his speaking rights. He kind of took them by becoming world champion more than he was given them back. But DDR is getting real close to losing them. And I'm a pretty good guy to speak for him. You know how the Bo Nickel fight came about, don't you guys? 100%. Not 90, not 99. 100% me. I ran into a guy from one of DDR's cornermen right after DDR fights Kevin Holland. And he grabs the mic and he's so happy to be there. And he's smiling. He's got like these boyish good looks, and he's smiling, and he just did something that was incredible. But he was so captivated by his own moment that he froze up on the mic with Joe Rogan. And so this is what the corner tells me. I'm literally walking off the floor to get an elevator to go up to the ESPN desk and talk about what I just saw. And the guy grabs me and says, hey, we froze up on the mic. The plan was to call out Bo Nickel. That's all he says. That's just a terrific idea. I get in the elevator, I go up, I go to the desk, and I deliver the message for him. And many people have taken credit for that fight. There was managers and there was people, and we did such a great job. I did that 100%. I will take my bow. But I'm about to do it again. So DDR, you get one more shot. You get one more interview. You're on a victory lap. You're not thinking clearly. You get one more. And then your speaking rights are going to be revoked.